So welcome to the last session of the strategic branding course. It's gone so fast. It really flew by this week, doesn't it? And so at about 2:30, there's at the moment there's 4 of you, but Ju might hopefully join us soon. I think because it's 7 hours ahead, I think she's kind of traveling from work or maybe eating or whatever. She'll join us. But we have an hour or a little under an hour before we start looking at your work. And so what I'd like to do is to and just what I need to do as well is to go, because I haven't had a chance. I was actually packing at lunchtime. I need to check my email to see that if you've sent me documents. 1 second. Right, excellent. Colleen, Lucky, and that's from, yeah, that's great. I've got lots of documents here. Lovely. Okay, I'll download them in a while. Okay. So just 1 second, please. I'm removing some files. Sorry, I should have prepared this earlier, but I didn't have time. So I'm just uploading the file that I want to show. It's just uploading some files. I'm just downloading some files, and Nick, I've got I've downloaded the mood board, I guess. But there was another email from you, Nick, called homework, and he said, Mark, here's my homework, but there's no attachment.
Okay, well, that's fine, because it was actually like a brand guidelines for something that I did previously. So I was kind of cheating there anyway. So you've got the mood board. That's what the homework was, wasn't it?
Well, you can still send us the guidelines, and it'd be interesting to look at, actually, if you want.
Yeah, I'll just resave it because it was a bit of a large file. I'll try and make it smaller.
Oh yeah, it's probably it's best to, how many megabyte was it? You know, of course, you know, in Acrobat you can actually reduce file size.
Yeah,
you know that.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Great. But thank you, everybody. I forgot to tell you to put your name on the document because I've got no idea which is which. But so I've got Valentina, and I think that's, who's that? Lucky. Okay. Let me just write it down. Sorry. then Nick, and there's a thing called personal brief. Who's that from? Mood board. Oh, this is Colleen. Colleen. Okay, Colleen. Right, so I've got Colleen, Nick, Lucky, Valentina. So I'm waiting something from Ju, but not come through. So we'll start in a minute. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, the email was called Colleen's personal brief, actually. Sorry, apologies. I can see that now. That's fine. Okay. Thank you very much. Right. Okay. So welcome everybody back again. Sorry about this slight delay in the starting. So what I want you to do in complete random order is it's going to be a random order. So this is an example of I just want to sort of some quick studies, quick sort of real life kind of case studies. This was a stage 3. Let me just stage 3 presentation. So it's not the first presentation, it's like third presentation to a client by an agency called BrandPie, and they want to evolving the Help musician brand. It's a charity for musicians for the next 100 years. And stage 3 recommendations. So just want to show, and so I'm going to quickly show these, just to show you the kind of different ways that professionally, you can show, present your graphic design work, graphic brand identity work to a client. So you can summarize what the previous meeting was. And in this case, BrandPie began the creative process by exploring and developing 3 routes. So the repeat logo, so these are the logo, by the way. So Help musicians. So there's one called the repeat logo, the other one is a classic contemporary logo, and then the crescendo logo. And from a workshop and feedback from the client, two logo were chosen to develop the repeat logo and the crescendo logo. So the 2 logos in question, which have been chosen from the previous presentation, were Help Musician, where you have Help Us, like that, and so it's a charity for musicians, and it has a thing called this thing here is a musical term which says repeat. I did not know that because I'm not a musician. And this the other logo on the right hand side is a crescendo logo. Again, this symbol here is the crescendo in question. So that was the feedback from the client to use the correct repeat symbol, take out, Help Us. So there was some feedback which you can repeat to the client, and then everything that came from the meeting, consider the type style, consider a box for a better shape. So this was the feedback, and so option 1, these were the option 1 were the repeat logo sketches, and using different typefaces. It depends how much you show to the client, how well or how close you are to the client. With some clients, you can feel comfortable to share your process. With others, they just want to cut to the chase and want to see things, not so many variations, basically. But it all depends what your relationship is with the client. So these were variation on the same theme of this repeat symbol. Help Musician, so in caps, different typefaces, in upper and lower case, different typefaces. and different relationship between the symbol and the type. And then again, variations, maybe a different way of doing it. Then the Crescendo logo sketch was follow the same process, just trying out different kind of caps and different typefaces. And then you can conclude, and then you present all this, and you conclude the pros and cons of option 1 and option 2. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but the option 1, the repeat symbol, was the recommendation. This is the recommendation with that typeface. So this was the recommended logo. And then you can show the description and the rationale. We've taken musical notation as the basis for the evolution of your identity, moving away from the stave to highlighting a sign that represents what lies at the heart of what you do for musicians. By using the repeat sign in ways that are adaptable and flexible, we reiterate what Help Musician does for musicians, being adaptable and flexible in providing support, not just once, but again and again and again, picking them up and helping them start over, no matter where they are in the cycle of their careers or their lives. Whatever the ups and downs, peaks and troughs, Help Musician acknowledge and echoes that truth and dials up the action that's available to just all and every type of musician. So you can present your new visual identity, your brand mark on templates. You can get this kind of visuals template. There's many websites which have this ready-made. There's one called Graphic Burger or Burgers, I can't remember, .com, in one word, no space, .com. There's another one called, it was actually just Graphic Burgers, obviously one word. And there's another place called Invato.com, and there's others as well. There are lots of others where you can get some free layout templates. So if you can Google brand presentation templates, you'll get a few websites. Some of them you have to pay a little bit, but they have lots of templates, some nice one. And what happens is you're then given this kind of Photoshop file, a layered file called a PSD file, and you just literally drop the logo on one of the layers, and it instantly will kind of put it where you want it to put it. It's very clever. So it's the same thing again. This was a template, but you can visualize. You can visualize maybe posters. So this is how the use of the symbol together with a headline, dream, create, perform, repeat, looks for the identity. And so you can create a few applications to bring the brand to life. So the cover of this I don't know what it is, a brochure or a program. That's really nice cover. The arm coming out of the whole of the repeat symbol, and then a layout style you can show, and also on a bag. So at the moment, their color scheme is purple and yellow, which they can show later on. So you can show more examples of website and also roll-up, exhibition roll-up posters, a dream, create, perform. This is a slightly different color scheme I think they're showing to the client, so it becomes a point of discussion. Should it be yellow and purple rather than the other one? Then it basically shows how the Help Musicians logo fits in with their partners. So they partner with something called Music Minds Matter. So how can they co-brand the website, for instance? And then they place the logo amongst all the existing competitors of music charities. I had no idea there were so many music charities. So the Help Musician logo is in the middle of the pack here, and how it fits in, whether it stands out or not. So then they show, at this stage, they've obviously chosen the logo, and they start building up the toolkit, the graphic branding toolkit. So there's a tagline which says supporting musicians since 1921, and so they kind of show the different lockups, the different configuration of the brand logo, brand mark, and the tagline. So creating a lockup here, this one, the range left and horizontal lockup, dynamic. It's not really a lockup. It's more of a freestanding kind of slogan. And so there you go. And then on the right hand side, you show the client applications of the brand, how it's applied onto the posters, for instance. Then you can explain the logo, the word mark on the left-hand side, and the repeat symbol, and the variation of the logo, in what way it can be used, black on white with a white background, in a box or in a circle. The client wanted to have a possibility of using a box. So you can explain to the client that the symbol becomes a dynamic, graphic symbol, kind of a dynamic symbol, a graphic device, if you like, that can be used on the literature, on the print, or on the communication, actually. And then you can introduce the colors of the brand, all this kind of purple, violet, and yellow and black and white. And you can start talking about brand imagery style. So like the photography with a color adjusted photography, black and white photography, and also the kind of spotlight filter. Not sure about that. Then the typography, you can so this is the beginning of a guideline. So in a way, you kind of like firm up, you show the basic elements of the branding to the client, typography, chosen typefaces, and the next steps. The next steps are a brand buyer to refine the preferred logo, to present refinement to the core team, etc., etc. There was an alternative color option which they're showing to the client with some gray, and that's it. So that's a brand identity presentation, which really is not really incorporating any strategy. So presumably the strategy was presented separately or before this this presentation. If you find this interesting, I'm going to show another case. Right. Okay. So this is the case which I've been talking about, and it's literally one of my personal worst projects in terms of design, but the strategy was extremely successful. The design was much more difficult because it was very difficult to convince people. But this was for this brand, this wholesale company, if you remember, a cash and carry business called Bestway Wholesale. And if you remember, I explained the brand Onion that we did. So in this, we went through 1 or 2 months doing strategy work for this client. We had workshops and things like this. And we came up and we together with the client did this brand Onion and brand Essence, discover the brand Essence. So in this presentation, you can remind them. You don't need to get into the whole strategy thing. You just give a summary of all the things that you've worked together about. And then you can have images like this. It's quite nice to. So there is actually here a mixture of the personality and also the proposition. So capturing the essence of British folklore hero Robin Hood, championing bold, shrewd, that's the personality, fighting for the independence, that's the view, never resting, that's also a value, to deliver everything your business needs to grow, that's part of the brand value proposition, a brand of integrity that is truly supportive, that's also the personality, a partner or the wholesaler, that's a kind of emotional benefit, fighting every day to give independent businesses This is part of the proposition. The goods, the services, and the price they need in the best way for them so that they compete and flourish, because when they succeed, we succeed. So it's a nice way with images to kind of like remind people of the core of the brand positioning and strategy. And so that's okay, Annie. So moving forward, the positioning will help to focus the marketing and engage customers with a consistent brand message and tone of voice. But there was a big problem that we identified with the brand architecture of the company. So that's why I'm showing this now, because the brand architecture presentation is, fresh in your mind. And there is a need for a wholesale identity to unite the wholesale business of Bestway and Batley's, sorry. So let me explain a little bit. At the moment, there is a in fact, if I go, so at the moment you have a confused architecture, because on the left-hand side, this is their portfolio, by the way. So you have the parent company is actually this logo here, and it's called Bestway Group Holding or Bestway Holdings. Then you have Bestway Wholesale, but their logo is the same as, a bit like BMW or CAT as the parent company. Then they have Cement, which is also the same logo. So this is like a master branded house kind of architecture here on the left-hand side. But on the right-hand side, you have a confused hierarchy, because it's a house of brands with all the product being, different. So all the product are different. This is a Well Pharmacy was actually a pharmacy which was, Bestway Group bought the Co-op pharmacy. There used to be a chain of pharmacy called Co-op, and rebranded it and called it Well Pharmacy. UBL is the United Bank Limited, which is a #1 bank in Pakistan, and Batley's, it was a Scottish kind of warehouse cash and carry company. So the problem with so this is the architecture was problematic, and we wanted to bring more clarity to the whole thing. So basically to have a kind of house of brands. So instead of having, the two things were happening, which was this logo stays the same. Here for the cement, it will always say Bestway Cement. But there was a need to unite Bestway Wholesale and the Scottish arm of the same business, Batley's, into one Bestway Wholesale identity. So this was the job here. So you can see how the architecture really kind of fits in really well. Ideally, we would create a wholesale identity which is informed by the brand eye positioning. However, we're not starting with a blank sheet of paper. So the wholesale identity should link visually to the existing Bestway and Batley branding, especially if the new identity is to be accepted internally by the business. Therefore, the following design have been mostly informed by Bestway existing brand equities rather than the brand eye. In other words, actually that's useful. So what we're saying to the client here, that said, within the context of Bestway existing brand equities, we have still explored a spectrum of designs from evolution to revolution. So this is quite good to show the client that how is the presentation structured. And you have if I zoom in, we explain to the client that when we do the identity for Bestway Wholesale, we can do very little modification. So that's like on the left-hand side, one descriptor. So in this case, if you do very small, see literally if you add the word wholesale under the logo, the master brand logo, it's like a descriptor. And in this case, there is a very, very strong master brand visual equity because it stays the same. So I'm going back. This is, so in this case, the logo will look the same as this, but it will have the word wholesale underneath. So that's like the first exploration. Then there's an evolution. So there's an evolution here between, and so we can look at simplification of the logo, and then modification of the logo. That's getting away from the master brand visual equity. And then revolution is basically, it's like offers a brand differentiation within holding groups. So it's like creating something completely different, and the architecture would then become a house of brands. So the other thing that's interesting is to look at the competitors for this brand, the visual brand marketplace, and the wider, this is the wider context and the wider marketplace. In the middle, you have the cash and carry houses. So, and then behind that, you have brands, Costcutter, Aldi, Spar, Bestin, so Morrison, who are offering cut price, basically branding. And so this is the position of the logo inside the visual marketing map. And the brand is actually, so the other thing you can do as well is to show the client and analyze a description of their visual identity right now. And it's a bit scary because what you're saying is, in many cases, your logo has a lot of problems. This logo, which they have, was designed in 1960 something. It was probably actually, we just don't know whether it was designed by a graphic designer or not, but it's bit of a mixed bag visually, because it uses a kind of Optima typeface in a logo type best way, but then the symbol is like a B with a cut off B in a square, and it's like a big bold sans serif. So different typefaces, it's a bit strange. And those three lines, the blue and green lines, actually is based on this bit here. It's based on the Pakistan flag of Pakistan, which is blue, white, and green, or green, white, and blue. Sorry, because the company was founded by Pakistan immigrants in the UK in the 60s. Anyway, don't want to get too much into it. So the blue line, when there's a little tweak, basically, so Bestware wholesale. So it's the idea of adding the word wholesale to this, and it's very simple, using the same typeface. So I'll go quickly. So this is the most safe option, and you can visualize that on brochures and on stationery and on the flag outside the office. And then the second route is evolution. Evolution is the simplification. So it's simplifying it. So putting the word wholesale within the same thing, just tidying it up, basically, tidying up the identity and how that can look. Then evolution is doing something, still using the symbol, but evolving it slightly. And the idea here was to do something like Aldi, kind of like cheap supermarket thing. And how that looks in the kind of branding is a bit more kind of happening, and on their brochure and outside. Yeah, this one was a bit too much, like a bit wild, and no way that would have flown, but it's still a kind of experimentation. Clients don't mind if you do that. Then finally, the revolution, which was obviously our favorite route, and we had lots of you remember I showed you some sketches, and we had a lot of sketches. And so actually I was very keen personally on this one, which was, the idea with that was that because it helps the small businesses grow. So the small B becomes a bigger B, becomes a bigger B. So it relates completely to their brand essence in terms of idea. So there was lots of different ideas of the B and everything. So this went on and on. I deleted a lot of sketches, but so we're presenting this one, and that was the one we were trying to push, actually. And unfortunately, they were not prepared to change. They didn't have, they decided not to change their logo. And so this was one direction. Another direction was this kind of PayPal idea, as I mentioned before. So here, you show the main one you prefer, and then you can show variation on the same theme, basically. And then this one was about the sort of PayPal direction, electronic digital payment field, which I think is really nice, but and worked really well, but they also were not ready for it. Then you can show other things that you've tried. And yeah, so there was lots of things we tried, but there's no need to show everything, basically. So conclusive thoughts. To all stakeholders in Bestway Wholesale Group, after viewing all these logos, reflect on the following. Which logo would make you feel Bestway Wholesale is professional, credible, and trustworthy? Which logo expresses the brand's essence, Robin Hood, fighting for independence? Which logo best conveys the brand's personality, supportive, bold, championing, fighting spirit? Which logo feels appropriate in your specific business marketplace? Which logo stands out in your business marketplace? Which logo do you think customers would most identify with? Which logo do you think stakeholders would most identify with? So you can ask them those questions. And then you discuss the next stages. This was a first design presentation. So we are here, initial ideas and design, this presentation, choosing a visual conceptual direction for Bestway Wholesale. Stage 2, design development. So chosen logo development stemming from comments, feedback from stage 1 presentation. Stage 3, design development and finalization, further design development stemming from comments from stage 2 presentation. Then production, final logo production in all the color version, the format, and all the master artworks and everything else. So brand definition, brand identity guidelines. So brand proposition, brand values, brand personality. So that will be the first, we did that, the first part of the guidelines. Then the basic elements, usage of the logo, graphic elements, usage, brand colors. Then the brand typefaces, typography, imagery, style, layout, style. And then applications, defined layouts, list of applications to be discussed. And thank you. So that's an example of a presentation to quite a big business, actually. I mean, they're really nice people, but it's a massive business. Now it's 2:10. Let's see what else we can show you. There is a rather long presentation here, but it has a lot of, so in this presentation, it's for a charity called Community Action Nepal. I'm not the designer. My friend is a designer. And so he had a client called Community Action Nepal. And so here it's a long document. It's 93 pages. So it's going to be, I'm going to have to kind of go through really quickly. But in this phase 1 is about investigation. Phase 2 is about questions. Phase 3 is about strategy. Phase 4 is about design. So it's a first presentation, so it's very strategic to start with and not so much into the design yet. But so the phase 1, investigating, mapping, integrating, and understanding the context of the brand. So first of all, to explain the brand is Community Action Nepal. And the unique thing about this brand is a charity to help communities in Nepal after all the earthquakes that they've had in Nepal. And it's basically a charity founded by, this is the existing logo on the left-hand side, by the way. Sorry, just let's go back. The existing logo is right there. It's this very, very illustrative kind of, slightly naive and sweet in a way, but doesn't look like a professional kind of big charity player. And the charity is actually founded with, which is actually founded by mountaineers, British mountaineers mostly. And so mountaineers got together, people who climb the mountains, and the mountaineers got together with a community So they get together with the community to kind of basically create these charities. So it's quite unique. They're working together directly with the villages and the villagers, and to help them rebuild the villages which have been destroyed by the earthquakes, for instance. So rebuilding schools, rebuilding hospitals, and in that way, that's the main purpose of this small charity. And these two of the founders of the charity together live in the house of the Nepalese people. So the big problem is about the initial vision is to actually help them rebuild communities, and this is the problem, and this is all the project location of this charity. They're doing a lot, and I mean I'm not going to get into it so much, but there are all these different problems in different parts of Nepal, and where there's been a lot of destructions, and so rebuilding, the kind of so this is explaining, and how are they supported? They're supported through UK donations. So that's an outline of the background of the situation, if you like. And then the second phase is a brand audit, or brand, it's a research and analysis. So what they've done is they've basically asked questionnaires to a lot of people who are in the UK, who are part of the charity, and also people in Nepal. So they had 5 representatives of the company, and they asked questions like, what is the main belief of community action Nepal? So every representative comes up with something different. Like, we often take our more easy lives for granted. Nepalese people have really tough lives. We have the power to make a major difference in the lives of the Nepalese people. Everyone deserves the best in life, etc. I'm not going to get too quickly. Other questions included, what is the main strength of community action Nepal, and what is the reason for your answer? Emotional attachment, the happiness and ownership we provide the Nepalese, our impact, etc., etc. Just flying through. I'm not getting into the project too much. Just want to show you the presentation, basically. What is the main weakness? So this is the SWOT, if you like. Our reputation to others, the reputation, our size, our charity focus, etc., etc. What is the reason for your answer? So it's very detailed. Then another question is, what is the main threat of communication action Nepal? The mountain people of Nepal fleeing to the cities, the earthquake, etc. So then it looks at competitors. Who are Community Action Nepal main competitors? So there's a thing called DEC, Disaster Emergency Fund, or something. I don't know what the C stands for. Amnesty International, Christian Aid, and UNICEF. So these are big, huge charities. And compared to that, CAN is a very small player. What makes you different from other appeals? So what is the differentiator of the CAN company? So each one will have a different insight. We are organic. We were formed by our love and passion for these lovely people, blah, blah, blah. So what is the problem here we're trying to fix? So this is an interesting thing. Why does that matter now? What are you doing about this problem? What do you want others to do about this problem? So a lot of really great insight from this 5 representative, and so this is a great brand audit interview. After the brand audit, they carried out and summarized, defined the SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I'm not going to read it because it would just take too long, but just to show you. Then they did functional benefits and emotional benefits of the brand. So The functional benefits: community togetherness, workforce combined, both donators, staff, and Nepal mountain people, etc., etc. Emotional benefits: formed through first-hand and personal findings, focus solely on mountain lives and environments, the impact the audience can provide themselves. The other thing, the next thing after that was defining the core philosophy. The people of Nepal deserve better lives. The core value: work is totally driven by the needs of the mountain people of Nepal. The core difference: Community Action Nepal unify a community of both donators themselves and the Nepalese. Core belief: when we work together, we can achieve greatness. So, you know, it really sort of defines the brand really well. And this is something we've not done actually in this course, but you have this, you know, there's no need because you can construct this kind of mapping, this customer positioning mapping. So how are we different? So you can have a graph here, for instance. So charities which are funded by, supported by mountain climbers. On the right-hand side, Nepalese residents have no project input or ownership. At the bottom here, funded and supported by anyone. And on the left-hand side, Nepalese residents have project and ownership. This is where, so CA, let's call it CAN or CAN is there, and all the other charities are in that corner. And this is about the positioning in terms of focus on urban areas such as town and cities. So all these other Christian, UNICEF, Amnesty, DEC, but the positioning of Nepal is that they're solely, you know, basically concentrating on mountainous area and better living conditions. So the brand personality, there's a long list here: caring, generous, selfless, unifying, welcoming, brave. So it's a rather long list, but anyway, empathetic, nurturing. The archetype is the caregiver. So the attributes of the altruistic, selfless, nurturing, compassionate, empathetic. The motto is love your neighbor as yourself. Core desire: to protect and care for the well-being of others, to help others. Anyway, so you know all that. And yes, you can visualize the archetype kind of thing for the client to understand. So you can actually visualize also the problem, make the problem people don't see, the difference they can make. This is who they are, who the charity is. A small charity that focuses on bettering the lives of Nepal's mountain people, blah, blah, blah. And who they want to be. A charity that are known renownedly for their work centering, repairing, sustaining Nepal, blah, blah, blah. So it's a difference kind of is where they want to be. This is a great rebrand, repositioning. So before the Golden Circle: why, how, what. The indigenous people of Nepal deserve better lives. How, through our shared love for the mountains. What, we can come together, sustain Nepal's mountain communities. For the future, why, the indigenous people of Nepal deserves better lives. That stays the same, the purpose stays the same. And through the power of working together, how, what, we can sustain and restore the damaged Nepalese mountain communities. So yeah, subtle differences, but still. And a brand reposition is right there. And again, what is this again? With the new identity, what the new identity must communicate in order to achieve the brand repositioning. So attention to earthquake, sense of togetherness, the effect of the Nepalese mountain people, the impact of audience can make, passion, love. So you can see how, you know, deep it is, and there's a real connection. So this is all part of the brief. Tone of voice: selfless, passionate, unifying, reassuring, undemanding. And there's how this can be achieved. So each representative kind of basically have an idea how the, you know, this can be achieved. Copywriting that includes the viewer directly, etc., etc. So also in terms of looking at the imagery and the visual style, do and don't. No imagery should emphasize struggle. No imagery should beg to the audience. No imagery should, not be of urban location, should not be showing pain and suffering. So the shift was that imagery should show togetherness and unity. Imagery should show the impact of work. Imagery should be uplifting and motivating. Imagery should be optimistic and inspiring. So there's a bit of a typo there. So then the phase 4 finally is what we call the squirrel stage. Squirrel stage is really looking at the existing visual branding of other charities. So to analyze and to talk a little bit about, the graphic language that you need to construct for this brand. So this is branding by Johnson Banks, who is a company who does a lot of charity branding for DEC, Disaster Emergency Committee. Oh yeah. This is the identity for Shelter. So Shelter, as we all know, is a charity for the homeless, and the logo has got the shape of a house. Cystic fibrosis adventure. Sorry, looking for adventurous. Cystic fibrosis charity. Sorry, is the language is about handwritten and yellow and black. Very simple. Cystic fibrosis, and then this is done by Pentagram, an identity for ActionAid. So ActionAid basically change is, yeah, we all know ActionAid as an identity, but it's very kind of the identity is very, very sort of red, white, and black. Christian Aid is another kind of identity. Amnesty International, very, very simple, yellow background and black type, very in your face. And then this is done for something called Action for Children. So how Action for Children works. So this is another one. This one is a charity called Acumen, changing the world, how the world tackles poverty. So they've got this kind of diagonal line, which becomes part of the branding. This was done by Wolf Hollins for Oxfam. Oxfam was quite a boring branding before, and they really, really changed it very, very much. And they brought in a lot of color into the branding, positive, future now, the imagery, and so it's like the letters are always full of kind of bits of color. And it was very successful kind of rebranding, really. This is by Pentagram for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. So this is typical Pentagram work. Heart and stroke, the stroke typographical mark. It becomes the logo for that. This is my favorite one, or one of my two favorite ones coming up, actually. This one and the next one. This is done by a company that used to be, that were called the Partners, a brilliant, amazing design company. Unfortunately, they've been gobbled up by a bigger agency, which is a shame. But it was the Tusk kind of the Tusk Trust, African charity, and a charity to help, I think, to help African nations look after their natural heritage. I guess that's what it is. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like it anyway. And I love the way that it kind of zooms in on kind of African art patterns, arts and crafts. And you can read the word TUSK. I think it's so clever. And then the Refugee Nation. The Refugee Nation is done by an advertising company called ONM, Ogilvy and Mather. And the Refugee Nation, it's really nice because it's basically a brand which is based on, this life jacket when you're on a boat. It's like this fluorescent orange and black. And they made a flag, so they make a flag for the nation, which is orange and with this black stripe. Really clever branding. Very quickly again, because we're getting close to the time where we have to share your work and talk about your work. One network, one vision, one voice for the Worldwide Fund, done by NB Studio. Anyway, so I'll skip because how many more are there? So sorry, just need to. So the Nepal and the problem, still the problem of the. So yes, looking at problems, they're trying to, how can you maybe look at the problem of the number one problem of the earthquakes, and also looking at colors. The colors of Nepal is an inspiration as well. The colors of Nepal and the culture of Nepal and the religion of Nepal, the Hinduism, and also the patterns and art and crafts of Nepal as well. So all of these things are extra things. So then you can show sketches to the client, different direction, route 1, route 2, route 3. So just different, oh no, this and different ideas that you can discuss. Again, looking at sort of positive images. So okay, so then finally they show the design ideas, initial design routes. This is about route 1. Inspired by a big listing on video stream, the following idea plays on the descriptive text in tag lockup. So and it's basically involved people, like all the local people, all the English people who are actually taking part in this. So Gita, hard worker, laborer, mountain life devotee. Tanvi, mother of 3, project manager, believer, fighter, proud of her livelihoods, focusing on the people. Padal, 7-year-old, star of the week, happy again, forever grateful. You, selfless, school rebuilder, provider of education, faith restorer, a hero, loved by Nepal, part of the community. So this was the idea of that, and how it looks on literature, and the CAN logo was just like CAN in red, like very simple kind of. So it didn't focus too much on redoing the CAN logo, just the kind of the graphic branding idea like that, and how that worked on also envelopes and literature. The second idea was about the two sides of the charity community coming together. So it's about building blocks, building bricks. So two things coming together to make a whole. Alone we imagine, together we achieve. Supported by you, initiated by Nepal's people. So that was the kind of route 3 was based on the colors of Nepal and using a range of colors, very positive colors. Maybe you have like a set of different booklets. Together we can achieve true greatness, you know. But I don't think that's got much legs. Route 4 was about a more hard-hitting, like The Economist. Together we can be proud of our community. But then also a variation of that theme was to bring in about the kind of disruption that there is. Together we can rebuild Nepal. Anyway, so these were initial, as I say, it's not my work, so I don't even know which presentation they chose. So that brings us to 2:30. Well done. And I'm now going to basically look at your work. And the way we're going to organize ourselves is to I'm going to upload, I haven't done this yet, I'm going to upload your document. So actually, if you want to have a break for 4 minutes or something like that, just to, because we might not have a break. I don't know if it's too early to have a break, actually. Just, oh, I'll be quick anyway. We can have a break later. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm just going to upload your brief. So I've actually only got 4 documents here. I don't know what's happened to Ju's document, or so. Yeah, so I've got 4 documents here. I've noticed there's some people missing. Who is missing? Mm, oh, oh, Lucky has maybe dropped out. Maybe there's a problem with the network. But okay, actually, Lucky is actually trying to reconnect. So it's obviously some kind of connection problems. Thank you. Hi, Lucky. Right. Hi. So um, we're going to look. We'll have a break at 3 for 5 minutes. But we're going to basically now, we have 15 minutes per student. So in those 15 minutes, you have plenty of time to explain your project, and then we can kind of give feedback. We can all give feedback, actually. I'd like to invite everybody to give feedback to the other people, and then to tell you how you can go forward with this project if you want to anyway. So let's, in no particular order, we're going to start with the first one that comes up. I'm sorry about that. Somebody has to start. So, Valentina, you are on. And maybe, so you need to take the microphone and basically tell us what this is all about. What brand are you doing? Bonjour.
Bonjour. So this is about Tuscany, as I said previously, and it's an example of regional brand. And everybody knows that Tuscany is worldwide renowned for fashion, art, food and wine, luxury, and so it has a strong reputation abroad. But its strengths are also its weaknesses in a sense, because Tuscany has great untapped potential, but she's basically leaving results on the table because she's not clearly communicating her brand, multifaceted brand, because she has many assets, but she's only exploiting only the cultural heritage. So people basically visit Tuscany, spend on average 1-2 days either in Pisa or Florence, and then they head straight to one another main town before leaving. So Tuscany is suffering from hit and run tourism. She would like to attract different kind of tourists and make them stay longer. So in order to turn this situation around, I think the opportunities would be to leverage his motto, which is now it's beautiful everywhere. And maybe she has to promote off the beaten track places like the South Coast, the Etruscan coast, the northern region, and she could attract tourists all year round and not only in spring or summer. And she also lacks of brand guidelines and consistency, so it's another drawback that she has to address. And of course this will her competitor will take advantage of this weakness. And speaking about strong domestic and foreign competitors. Like for domestic competitors, I think about Dolomiti, which is in the northeast of Italy, and Croatia. I don't know how we say that in English. That is.
Yeah, you say Croatia. Croatia, yes.
Croatia, yes. That is attracting even more tourists because of his lower prices. Tuscany has high prices. It's perceived like a top-notch destination. So she basically should offer different opportunities to every group of tourists, being luxury or just people who want to enjoy its territory. And then I moved on the brand positioning statement, which is
sorry, yes, this is for everybody. I switched off my mic because otherwise there can be some echo sometimes. But so if you want me to turn the page, just say marked, or don't even say marked, just next page or next.
Next page, Mark, please. So the positioning statement is a summary of the SWOT analysis, and I said that to international guests, Tuscany is the one go-to destination tailored to suit different needs. That's because only Tuscany provides wide-ranging, compelling, and seasonless activities throughout its territory so that guests can enjoy their stay all year round and build everlasting memories. And because of this brand should make things happen, I think that its archetype should be magician, which is the slide 3, Mark. And I think its core archetype is magician, but it also has a secondary archetype, which maybe it's the creator, because she wants to innovate as well, and she fears like stagnation. So maybe 2 archetypes. And among its values, there's authenticity, because she is the cradle of the Renaissance. So people mainly go there because of this cultural heritage in the first place. Then openness, because I think that she has to attract new audiences, and maybe she should develop wellness tourism and sport or outdoor tourism, and connection or togetherness. So I'm not only thinking about its airport, which is globally connected, but also a place where people can enjoy being together. Affordability, because she should offer lower prices and focus on different audiences as well. And attractiveness, because I think it is related to how the brand is perceived, I think. So it goes hand in hand, and they are positively or negatively correlated one to another. That's it. I don't have a project, so I try to apply to check understanding of these tools. And I would like to have your feedback.
Well, thank you very much, and we have to applaud. I applaud sorry, I just put a video on. Applaud your work, and thank you very much, Valentina. Well done.
Thank you.
And you know, it's really, really nice to see that. And first of all, you know, yeah, you know, absolutely, 100%, bravo. I really like your presentation because there's so much clarity And obviously, you know the topic and you know the subject really, really well. You know the region really well. I loved it in your presentation when you kept talking about she, Tuscany. Tuscany was, and no offense, but in English you would not say, you would not call that she. You would still call it it or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No, no, don't change it. Don't change it because it's so charming.
I had personified the region.
You
Like
certainly have personified, yes, into this woman or this girl anyway. So La Tuscany. Tuscany, and I think it's really nice analysis, and I think you've really presented the challenge or the problem and all the kind of, you know, the weak point and the strong point, and you know, the fact that tourists, you know, basically only go to the cultural Pisa, Florence, and they don't really. That's one problem, is they just don't go really explore the different parts of Tuscany they could explore, and also the fact that, especially in England, the kind of perception of Tuscany is like expensive and it's for the rich and it's for the kind of people who, you know, have money basically. So that whole perception needs to be changed, because you're not going to get you're not going to get like normal kind of or, you know, people like me basically. I go to the south of France, I go to Corsica. Why don't I go to Sardinia? Why don't I go to with my family to Tuscany? Because it's too expensive. So they have to look at their price strategy a little bit, and maybe it's, I mean, I don't know how they do it, but it's definitely something which needs to be done, because they could, and maybe there are some cheap alternatives everywhere, cheap restaurants. I'm sure there are, but it's not publicized. So they need to work on their communication really, to change the perception of the brand in a way, don't they?
They're too much polarized around Pisa, Florence, Siena, and they could find new solution to attract. Even in winter, there's a big carnival in Viareggio, which is known worldwide, but people still don't know about it. So it's a pity.
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult, you know, like you're only going to get a small proportion of the people anyway. You're only going to get 10% of the population who are really intelligent travelers, in the sense that, like, I'm calling myself an intelligent traveler, but you know, we go to places, we explore different regions of France, but there's lots of things that we explore, like not just the historical things, but the markets and the, you know, all those things. And a lot of people, they just go to destination because it's like, it's almost like a checklist, you know, Rome, Venice, you know what I mean? They go to the kind of main attraction spots, and that's it. They don't go any further. They don't want to explore anything else. And then there's a big percentage of tourists that just want to have kind of rest and relaxation and sun, sea, and whatever. That's it. So I think already the type of tourist that you're looking for, I think there's definitely a big market that could be acquired by, you know, by Tuscany. And, you know, if Tuscany would communicate this, I would probably go with my family. But when there's 4 people and I'm kind of the only one that's sort of, you know, funding the kind of journey, then it's very expensive for big families. So yeah, I think that's an interesting problem. And I'd love to see the evolution of this project, and to see 2 things would be really interesting: to see whether you design a visual identity for
mood board. Yeah, I didn't have much time for.
No. Of course, you haven't had time. That's absolutely fine. You've done extremely well. But I'd love to see not just the mood board and the visual identity or logo, whatever, but also more than anything else, I'd love to see messages and headlines and the tone of voice and what you say and how you say it to the people. That would be really interesting to see.
I've tried to sketch some slogans, but I've kept this for me for now.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, but if you want to carry on the project, I mean, basically, in 1 month or whatever, you can send me a PDF and I can comment, give quick feedback. If you do that, it's best to do it during August, because I get very busy. August and maybe September as well, but I'm also going for a second holiday, sort of early September. But anyway, but after end of September, I'm like so busy. So, but I'm very, if you do more work, very happy to give more feedback. But let's hear it from other people. Let's hear what, if there's any comment or anything like that from Colin, Lockie, or Nick.
Yeah, I'd like to say something. I think the SWOT analysis was very good because I agree that it's got a very kind of solid and strong reputation. And for example, for me, when I think of Tuscany, I think of kind of the countryside and like the pencil pines. I remember seeing a photo someone posted on their Instagram story. I just saw the pencil pines and immediately I recognized that's Tuscany. But then I agree with the lack of brand consistency because some people, they do think of more Florence and Pisa and they don't think of the countryside. So there's a very kind of polarizing view. So I think you kind of captured that very well in your SWOT analysis.
Thank you very much, Colin. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Colin.
So, okay, well done, and something to be developed. Excellent. So I'm going to now stop this, and I will go to the next person. Oh, unless anybody else had any comment, sorry. Lucky or Nick, it's up to you, sorry. Because we do have time. Nick is about to say something. There's a microphone next to Nick's name, but maybe that's just, but we can't hear anything. Okay, let's move to the next student. And I'm going down the list, and the next person which arrived. Okay, tech difficulties, no problem. Nick, thank you very much. So really good work from Nick to Valentina. Message. Right. The next one that comes actually on the line is Colin. Personal brief.
Okay, so just to give a bit of background, the brand I want to do is actually my kind of own brand because I want to become a graphic designer. But just to give some background, I'm not quite there yet. I've done an undergraduate degree in marketing and I'm about to move to the UK to do a master's in graphic design. So I haven't really established myself yet.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I tried to do a SWOT analysis based on kind of the self-learning I've done. So strengths, I'd say, is coming up with like multiple sketch concepts and kind of creating the idea stage and going in different directions. And then one skill I've developed at the moment is creating digital illustrations on Procreate. That's how I kind of got into digital art before I started using Adobe programs. And then so far I've kind of specialized in creating simple and distinctive logos and icons. And then I also like to experiment with lots of different styles. So I'm not really set in one single way. So I say a broad set of styles. But then for weaknesses, I'd say technical skills because I still have a lot to learn and how to use these Adobe programs especially. And I haven't quite like nailed a clear process yet from the kind of research stage to sketching and developing and working with clients. That's something that I still need to develop. And then also at the sketching stage of these projects, I still struggle a bit to create distinct concepts where there's a very clear view and direction where it's going to go. And then also, of course, a professional experience. I'm just a beginner, so I haven't got all of that experience yet. But then for opportunities, I say I can constantly learn and improve through courses and self-learning. There's no really limit to what I can learn and always improve. And then also businesses are always needing branding and designers. So there's always going to be some work to do out there, and as well as art and design is absolutely everywhere. So even though you don't think about it, it's always an opportunity to create. And then for threats, I'd say there's so many graphic designers and competition out there that it becomes difficult to stand out. So that's one of the biggest threats. And then another one is it's difficult to get attention from non-professionals. Like, for example, I have an Instagram account where I post my art and it's usually getting the attention of other graphic designers. You want to try to get the attention of kind of consumers and other people who are more interested in like using your work rather than other designers who are just looking at your work. And then for the brand positioning statement on the next page, this one was also quite challenging, but what I came up with is, to small business owners and creators, Colleen Creative is the one graphic designer that will work with you to capture you and your brand's true essence in a fun and easygoing design process. Colleen Creative cares about giving you the best experience so you can feel proud and confident in your brand and can focus on what you do best. And then we'll come to the brand essence on the next one. So I'll read this one out to you, but it's a bit hard to read in this orientation. This one I also found kind of challenged to do at this stage, but my kind of general brand proposition is giving a personal, comfortable and friendly experience and to involve and work with you, the client, the whole way. For the brand personality, some key words that I came up with were creator, caregiver, simple, relaxed, organized and friendly, which relates to giving a personal and comfortable experience for the client. Reasons to believe, I will work until I've achieved something that we both love. So it's important for the client and for me to love the kind of identity that we come up with. Benefits, create all you need for your brand's identity. Feel like your brand's personality is authentically represented. Best express yourself and be confident in your business. For brand beliefs, brand values, your business is an extension of you and your personality. So I think it's important the business owner is also reflected in their business, not just what their business is. Then important to capture your essence as well as represent your business, like I was saying. And then you need to be comfortable and confident in what you want. So I would like the client to be very comfortable and expressing exactly what they want, so we're not compromising in any way. And then for the brand essence, some key words that I came up with is creative, caring, and dedicated. Then I came up with a mood board on the next slide. So this is just like a mood board I created that kind of expresses a bit of my personality, which I'll also express through my band. So it's kind of the colors I like and some of the drawings that I've done in the past. And there's a small clip of my Instagram page there, which kind of all kind of correlates into these, a lot of the colors coming through, which are browns and blues and greens, which I feel like represents a bit of my personality and what I like, but I'll also show that later with the color palette. And then on the next one, I did a exploring with typography. So yeah, I just had a quick look online and kind of fonts that I would like and possibly use for my brand. So somewhere I went on dafont.com and just tried to look for more simple ones, experimented with serif and sans serif and also some kind of script writing. And on the bottom, I also tried to do a bit of my own kind of handwriting. And it started going into more of the logo area because I could potentially use just typography for my logo. Then the next slide is the color. So these are the colors that I used before as general colors that I like and I feel like reflect my personality. And I also looked online to see what those colors actually meant. So I kind of saw them as subdued and calm colors and the most frequently occurring in my life. And for example, the blues are calm, trustworthy, sophistication. The browns are reliable, organized, simple, and comfort. And then the greens represent wise, discreet, relaxing, and natural. So I feel like there's a lot of consistency in between those meanings. And I also wanted to find some shades that would work with both black and white typography, so I could have that flexibility. And then for the final slide, I had a quick go at doing some logos, ideas, and sketches. And because I have Colleen Creative, which is a double C, I felt like I could try focus on using that somehow. So I experimented with different C's, and it's just really, really rough sketches. Or I thought I could just use my full name, Colleen creative in different ways. But yeah, there's just some initial ideas, and yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Bravo. Also fantastic work, and it's really interesting because it really is like a personal branding kind of project, which is you know, very, very good. It's very good to do that, the personal branding, and to design your own brand as a graphic designer. And you know, really good you know, self-reflection for the SWOT analysis. I thought the brand positioning statement is actually really good to small business owners and creators. Colleen Creative is the one graphic designer that will work with you to capture you and your brand's true essence in a fun and easygoing design process. Colleen Creative cares about giving you the best experience so that you can feel proud and confident in your brand and can focus on what you do best. It's really, really good. And yeah, it's bravo, 100% from Valentina. And so, yeah, and also the brand essence workshop, it was difficult. I was twisting my neck and I could not really read everything, but you know, you explained, and it's a very good everything is yeah. Landscape, one big tip: never present things in portrait format. So this is something for life. Present it always landscape. Why? Because screens are mostly landscape when you present them, except for the mobile phone, if you are going to present something on the mobile phone or an iPad. But it's always better space to work with when it's landscape. Mood board is great, and it's really interesting to see the colors and the kind of graphics on your Instagram page, and to see you as well, because I don't think we've seen each other so much. And yeah, it's looking great, and I really like that a lot. This, you know, mood board. And then in terms of the typography, just my feedback is. I think there's some interesting typefaces there, but I don't think you're not there yet. I think you need to look at more typefaces, and so of course the third one works very well, but it's a bit. So the first one is what you call, you know, this one here called Walkway, is what you call basically a geometric sans serif, because the A is not like the top, you know, it's this kind of circle and bar, which is like, and I really like this typeface because it has this kind of very nice sort of basic, it's not really a circle, it's, you know, this kind of basic shape for the E, the A, so you've got this kind of shape, it's not really a circle, and it's kind of, you know, it's a really nice one, but I don't think it kind of communicates the kind of colorfulness of your personality. It's a bit sort of it's too bland to communicate what you showed us in the mood board. So I would be tempted to. I mean, you could try, and I like the idea. I like the idea of using handwriting, but I don't think the handwriting things is there yet. I don't think, you know, definitely more research. I mean, you could also try to have, I mean, this could work, to also keep this nice font, but then, so, you know, and then have a contrast in the logo where you have another font which is kind of creative, like kind of, you know, underneath or near it or whatever. Try that. You know, because, you know, your main brand and your name is Colleen. So, and then that will be the bigger, and then smaller, you can have something creative underneath. Maybe that works, maybe not. This doesn't work here because, you know, you can't, the C is too far away from the O, and you just read Olleen rather than create Colleen. So yeah, definitely more work on that. And the other thing as well is Dafont is a place where you buy free fonts, but it's not really the best place to look. So do you remember this document I uploaded called typographic? There's a one page of I think on day 1 or day 2 in a Padlet. There's a document there which are typography advice. It's called. It's a page, and lots of list of typefaces to try, and also there's lots of links to reference to website where you could, good serious kind of typography website. So have a look at those, because I think you'll find much nicer scripts. But yeah, that's the feedback. I mean, you could maybe work with that, and then maybe with something else, because I like the idea of the script as well. So I hope that gives you enough feedback to get on. But the color palette is really well resolved and very personal, and I think that is great, because it's a great color palette, because it's very unique to you. So that kind of works very well, and you've totally sold me on this color palette. It's great. The logo needs a lot of work. Still needs, that, of course. Yeah, I mean, this tends to be when you haven't done, no offense, but when you're new at brand identity, there's a tendency to use acronym like CC and try to do something with a CC, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's sort of first line of thinking, really. But I think CC could be good. I think maybe you could also look into maybe color, so the C can maybe overlap, and then there's something happening where they intersect or something like that. You could try that. You know what I mean? There's a transparency when they intersect, maybe. I quite like, the kind of, so this is definitely, the CC kind of thing is definitely a good direction. I don't think, so I can help you there and just cross out things that Colin Creative, it doesn't really work. I think you can't have one C for both. And we said this one doesn't really work either. But sorry to be brutal with your work, but I think definitely the CC, I think this has got really somehow a very good potential. And it could be, I mean, this one is not bad, actually. If you have nice typefaces, these two ones definitely has potential. So keep on developing the initial work, and that's great. So that's it. That's the end of my comments. So carry on developing it. Is there any comment from other people?
Colin, I must say your work is really amazing, and if I'm to work with a designer in the future, I'd like to work with you. Very personal.
Oh, there you are. You have your first client, Colleen, all the way from Lagos. It's Lagos, so great, isn't it? You got your first client. What can I say? Oh, great. That's great. Fantastic. I'm glad when people are coming together. I think we're going to have a 5-minute break now. Anybody has any other comment? But we'll have a Valentina.
I was really impressed by her visual identity. She's set up for success. I think she shows a growing mindset in her SWOT analysis, which is thorough and inward looking. She's self-aware, and she says exactly where she has to grow and where she wants to go. So great.
Yeah. And Nick, thank you so much, Valentina, for those words. And Nick also pointed out he likes the middle logo. So I think the one in a circle, right, Colleen? And I think too, I think that works really well. I mean, I think as a as a starting point, that's a really good one. And Nick has problem with sound, so he's writing in the chat. So thank you, Nick, for that comment. Right. Okay. So let's have a 5-minute break, because I do need to leave at 4. So let's have a 5-minute break, because we always have a 5-minute break. So let's come back at let's come back at 15:11. So put your hand up to hear that you have a break. Hello. So put your hand up if you're here. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I think, yeah, we've got 3 people, Lucky, Valentina, and Colleen. We're just waiting for Nick. Nick might rejoin in a minute. But I will start by uploading a document. But maybe we can wait. But I'm uploading the document from Lucky. But let's see, maybe you can wait until Nick comes back. I'm sure that he's coming. Let's wait 1 minute. We can do that. I think maybe he's actually he had problem with a technical problem, so maybe Nick restarted or rebooted his computer equipment or his. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go there now. Actually, thank you, Lucky, for sharing your handle, your Instagram handle. That's great. Yeah, excellent. Okay, I'm actually on the laptop, so okay, well, I'm not. I have to look at it on my phone, so everybody can look on their own phone. Sorry, but I don't know my Instagram login details for the laptop, and I've got my password somewhere else. So, but I'm looking now. I'm going on my phone right there. So I'm going to go to your account. So if everybody can do the same, everybody, Valentina and Colleen, if you can do the same, and if you can access Lucky's fashion brand on to acquaint ourselves. We found it. Actually, there's 2 of them. There's a foundation, and there's Lucky NMO, and then Africa TM, or there's Lucky NMO Foundation. Which one should I use? The first one? Yeah, the first one. I can see that.
Yeah, first one, Lucky NMO on
Instagram. Yeah. That's one. Oh wow, there's lots of little kind of little videos. Oh wow. Oh cool. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Very impressive. I like it. I love this kind of clothing actually. It's so nice. So is that you know, these kind of suits like that, is that from Nigeria? Is that typical kind of fashion line? You know, the first one in the first little videos. I love the cuts. So nice. I love the one which is the blue one, you know, like, yeah, that's so amazing. You know, there's one where you are in a really nice flat wearing some blue thing with something around your, like a different material at the end of your arms, and you're wearing a hat. I love that one. That is so smart. And you know, it goes really well with the shoes as well. The nice sort of loafers. Wow. And actually, the branding there is like a very classical typeface, upper and lower case. Yeah, interesting. Oh, you have a shop as well.
Yes, right? I do. Yes, I do.
That's amazing. That's so. How big is your business? It's like very impressive.
The business is quite big enough. Obviously, we're still growing, but it's, you know, it's quite reputable down here in Lagos, Nigeria. You know, we've got a range of clientele around, like, let's just say for now, around like 3,000 people. So
Wow.
it's
Nice.
it's growing though. It's doing quite well though. It's great.
Really, I love this. So impressive. So impressive. Wow. And you have, do you model your own clothes? Are you the chap, for instance, there's a picture of
So I
this.
model my clothes. I'm the person in the pictures, so
Yeah,
I model the clothes
very,
for now.
very impressive beard, you know, very, very good. Slightly like hipster, in a way, but a very classic hipster, right? Excellent. Wonderful. Wow. This is really good. I love the one where further down you are next to some kind of, those quad bikes or something like, yeah. Okay, so definitely I've
Yeah.
looked at your brand and I kind of get the idea of your spirit, the spirit of your production, of your creativity. So if we maybe can just start talking about your project, you can speak about it.
Okay, so thank you. The brand name is Lucky Animal. Like I said at the beginning of the course, I already have a fashion brand. It's a men's fashion brand that caters to men. I wouldn't restrict it to Africans, but say mostly Africans wear our product. So just we cater to just men. So the name of the brand is Lucky Animal. And the reason behind the name is because I wanted people to be familiar with the creator of the brand, the origin of the brand. And I've seen a couple of fashion houses like the Gianni Versace, Salvatore Ferragamo, um, Alexander McQueen use their own name to build a brand. And just because I also believe that the brand is going to transcend into something bigger, not just for fashion, but like a household name, going to other, venture into other business in the future. So I wanted the name to stick, so when we're coming out, like bringing other product out, it just automatically, buys us the way, paves us way through the market. So why do we do what we do? The reason is we want to create a unique improvement in the appearance, communication, and behavior of our customer. Unique improvement in the sense that when you wear something good, you feel good. That's in the appearance, and there's some sort of communication you kind of tend to get when people put a certain kind of respect on you because you're looking good. That means you have to probably speak that part, or just live up to it. Then the behavior, like the kind of outfits we make outfits for classy men here that just not so loud, but also subtle and sophisticated African look. So when you wear them, you kind of command some kind of respect down here. I'm actually categorizing into Africa and Nigeria as a whole. So what we do, we make exceptional garments for men, majorly African wears. How we do it, we make sure our products are exceptional, meet and surpasses the expectations of the customers. So our brand essence is, I'd say that's also like my brand position statement, is to, yeah, same thing. Create a unique improvement in the appearance, communication, behavior of our customer. Benefits, every customer is treated like the only customer. From the first time you have an encounter with us, that's going to be from the inquiry stage to the purchase stage to the finished product stage, and even the after the purchase stage. So the attention to details can be seen in any work that leaves the brand, which leads us to an overall customer satisfaction. Benefits are also some sort of loyalties, like we also have like loyalty cards and orders. So when you purchase a certain amount of item from us, you get the next one free. So it's like you purchase 5 kaftans from us and you get one free. So brand archetype, I would say our brand is mostly leaning towards the ruler. You kind of feel like a boss when you're wearing the African kaftan here. So it's like you call the shots when you walk into a room, especially if it's nicely done. So some of them we like kind of detail them with like Swarovski buttons from London, just different things, just to make it stand out. We have some of them customized with your names on the cufflinks and all that. So it kind of gives you that, that command like when you step into a building. So we kind of create the boss look. And also I'll say magician because a lot of people have been making the African wears before we came into it. So it's just about changing the ordinary, making it more extraordinary. So, infusing old and new together. We're trying to make kaftans in a way that when people see it, it looks sophisticated. Everybody makes kaftan, but we want to make it differently. So the brand animal representation, I'd say the lion because the lion is bold. Lion is bold, courageous, has strength, commands some kind of respect when it comes into anywhere. So the brand song, I don't know if I was supposed to do all this, but I didn't get like the whole message properly, so I just did all I could do. So the brand song, I'd say I'm a Boss by Rick Ross. So our strengths, I'd say the quality of products we put out is actually very good, like excellent. So we pay really so much attention to details that we make sure that everything that leaves comes out really good. Like from the factory, if it's something I can't wear, because I like to look good and I like my outfits looking a certain way. So if I can't wear it automatically, it won't pass quality control in the factory, and everybody already understands that. So we make sure that it meets like standard and even surpasses standard. So we also have a very good referral rate. It's quite high. Like people always refer us down here, and I say our customer service is also great because the way we communicate with customers make them feel good. Even the people that don't want to purchase yet, they tend coming back whenever they can afford the outfit. And I'll say also, human and resource management is also our strength because I think for me the foundation is like the workers to me. So my staffs are like they are like very very like the strong key to making the finished product look good. So I have a very good skill in managing human because I tend to relate to them on a very like friendly level, and not just a boss, we're all friends and we work together to achieve something good. So I try to make that important, and I try to make them have a sense of ownership in the business. So whenever they're doing something, they're not doing it because they're trying to get paid, they're doing it passionately, and obviously they're getting reward from it. So it kind of helps the product come out really good because when they do something that's not up to standard, they go back to even adjust it before anybody even sees it. So it kind of helps us. So the foundation was already strong, then the product is good, then we try to make sure the customer service is good. So everything together, I'll say that's really part of one of our strengths. What else am I going to say? So weaknesses, I'll say fundings. Obviously, sometimes you have great ideas, but you don't have all the funds you need in the world, so you have to go at a certain pace. Then I would say earlier back in the days, I used to delegate less. So and obviously this led to fatigue and delay in different processes. Like, but obviously since the beginning of this year, after taking on some courses also in London College of Fashion on campus there and everything. So, I started delegating to different people. Over the past 1 year, I've been delegating more, and it's been helping us, achieve and complete tasks faster and better. Um, I'd say before, less online presence. Like, I used to be more about the numbers. And I used to be because I felt like we're making a certain amount of sales. So I was always in the factory working, working. I wasn't even caring about what we're putting out online. So we only have people refer us and say that brand is good. But when you look online, you're looking like, why I can't see why they're good. So we had less online presence in the past. So we were like, you can't be saying you're good here and nobody knows you're good out there. Only a few people that have experienced the brand. What are the people that haven't experienced the brand? How do they know that your brand is, up to standard? So we had to like strengthen that and start posting more, start arranging everything properly. Opportunities down here, I'll say population. Nigeria has about 200 million people. I'm just using Nigeria as a case factor, and we have a couple of clientele in Africa too. And we have a couple of clientele in Europe for like the black people in Europe and America and everywhere. So I'm like, if I have just 5% of the population in my country, that's like a big win for us also because that's about let me just say about 10 million people. So we haven't even hit we're like I think maybe 0.10% or something. So if we actually just have 1 to 5%, like so I think that's like a great opportunity for us. So threats will be economic instability in Africa, yeah, because the economy is not really stable, so it doesn't make business favorable from the export rates and import rates, having to buy things from Turkey, China, everywhere. So it's a bit unstable, not so stable. So it makes business bad sometimes. Also, you have unfavorable government policies also that doesn't help, like brands here. So I'd say for the brand color, green is brand color because green is the color of like fertility. I say rebirth because we want to improve your looks. So I feel that's like the color like something new, like energy, stability, money, growth is green. Then the reason behind the logo was the creator's name. Then the map under I was just showing up. So you could kindly switch to the next page. So the logo is just simple, the name of the creator, and the map on that just shows where the brand originates from. So basically, that's what the brand is all about, and that's what my presentation is all about. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Lucky. Brilliant, very impressive, and very impressed with your business and your brand. And you know, I'd love to try out one of those suits actually that you're doing, the African style. It's amazing. And, and some of them are so sophisticated. So I'll show that to my wife actually, and to so it's interesting because my son is really into fashion, and he's also started to make his own clothes and things. He's only 17, so he's going to love that when I show it to him. But yeah, so I've got so much to say. Well done for your business. And I think first of all, I think your idea of using the name like Alexander McQueen or Vivienne Westwood, all that kind of stuff, is a really good strategy. I think it's a good strategy because then it allows you to actually expand in the future to maybe cosmetic or perfumes or you don't know where your business is going to take you, so it might take you very far. It might expand. So a name like that can definitely sort of you could actually call your perfume Lucky, why not? Or you could call it Enemo. Enemo is a beautiful name, so maybe Enemo as well. So you got so much potential there, and I think everything was great with a golden circle, the brand essence, the benefit, and I think the archetype is really great. The two archetypes, I think, sums you up really well. I think so the archetype for the customer, kind of feeling, like you're the boss, or the sort of self-expressive benefit and feeling, the status and all that, and the magician because it's transforming as well. It's really, really great, and the animals and the lion is totally great as well. So I think SWOT is really, really good analysis, and you explain it really well. It's interesting, isn't it? Because the opportunities. I mean, I was reading that in somewhere that Nigeria has got the fastest population growth on the planet, and the population of Lagos is like becoming huge. I mean, how many millions of people live in Lagos? Do you know? Or like over 10 million almost, or something like.
It's about 25, above 25 million people in Lagos, actually.
Oh my God, it's huge, huge.
And that's just a state in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. And also, as you say, you have a lot of Nigerians everywhere in the world, and that also gives you a potential. And actually, it's funny because I had an idea, which you probably have done yourself, but I think it'd be really cool. And please, if you don't like the idea, just don't do it. It doesn't matter. But I think that it'd be really cool to have like a jewelry, right? Can you see my little sketch here? It's really bad sketch, but like a pendant, maybe much smaller than that, a pendant with a map of Africa, with the name, your logo inside the map of Africa. Let me just sort of, maybe something much smaller, much smaller, like I don't know, but it might be something that you might consider to do in the future. Okay. I don't know, because I think it'd be really cool to have that. Anyway, that's just up to you, but ask. Anyway, sorry, I was drawing and doodling. I thought, oh, that's quite a nice idea, but it's up to, maybe you don't think so, so maybe that's up to you. But I think it could look quite a nice piece of jewelry, actually. Anyway, yeah, the brand colors and the brand logo. I like the kind of gold as well. Is it gold, the color like of the type? So I think you could just, when I saw your logo on Instagram and everything, I thought, oh, well, this is really nice. So I don't think there's any need to change that because the typeface is really lovely. And I like this is what we called upper and lowercase small caps. So when you have all caps, but you have bigger small caps and normal caps. So, and with the word Africa, which is actually all caps in the same level, and it's a centered arrangement, and it works really, really well. So I think it's, I don't think there's any need of changing your logo, basically. And I think you were saying that yourself, weren't you? Or do you feel it should change, or what do you feel about it?
No, I don't feel it should change.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think, and sometimes it's used without the symbol of African map, and sometimes with it, right? I think it depends. And so what you're going to do next then, Lucky? I mean, you're just going to basically expand. And I hope some of the knowledge was useful for you during the week to
very
expand.
useful, actually, very useful.
Oh, thank you, to expand your business. But big round of applause for you, and very impressive. Very, very impressive. And I'd love to try out one of your clothes if you're in London. You've got my email, so we got to meet up.
Yeah, I'm going to London in September. So,
all right. Okay. Well, maybe we can meet.
Okay, no problem.
I mean, we can meet at Central St. Martin's or something.
Yeah,
When in September?
Like the end of September, I think the 25th.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll be in London. I'll be around. So maybe I'm going into college at university on the 21st of September, because I got a meeting there. But yeah. Anyway, let's be in touch. I mean, I don't want. You're probably quite busy when you come in, but just be nice. If you're in the area, you're in the area, we can have a coffee. Yeah.
No problem.
Great. Thank you very much. And so I don't know if there's any comment from anybody else. Colin is writing, love the logo and color combination, very classy look. Hold on, the text is gone. I've lost the test, actually. Oh yeah, here we go. Love the logo and color combination, very classy look. Also like the emotional benefit of feeling like you are the only customer. It's a very powerful one. Nice work, Lucky, from Nick. And Valentina wrote, love the Dapper Suit series. And Valentina, right, the colors recalls Nigeria. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, nice one. My microphone, Nick says his microphone still isn't working, so I'm going to log out and back in again. Okay. Yeah, because we need you to present your presentation, Nick. So good luck, Lucky. And, it's looking very impressive. You are a very impressive person yourself. So, so this is really looking great. Thank you very much. And so let's wait until Nick rejoins the course, because he's having a problem with his microphone. In the meantime, I'm going to upload his document on the screen. Oh, right. Okay. That's a very landscape document. That's great. So let's see if Nick has managed. Nick, have you managed to make your microphone work? Are you using Google Chrome? Have you used Google Chrome, and have you got the permission in Chrome? Sometime it shuts off if you go to preferences in Chrome, and in preferences it gives you, there's something about accessibility. If you click, oh, it's not accessibility, it's actually something else. And sometimes it plays, I mean, sometimes it kind of, let's see, because I know that they can have problem. It's about giving permission to Blackboard to use sound. Just where is it? Okay. Or maybe is it privacy and security? No, it's not. Okay, well, I guess or maybe you have to go to Blackboard. Yeah, Blackboard. I'm just wondering whether there's preferences here. Just a sec. You could try this. If you click. Okay, we're waiting. Hey, what did you do then? Nick, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
What did you do then? Well, how did you manage?
I reset the original settings in Chrome.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that's what it is. Excellent. Right. Okay.
So I've actually emailed. This is the wrong document. So I've actually emailed a more detailed document to you.
Okay. No, let me get it. That's fine. So by the way, everybody, I'm saying in advance that at 4 o'clock, I've literally got to stop exactly at 4 o'clock because I don't want to miss my. So there's 2 emails from you actually. One called brand guidelines and the other one called brand strategy doc. So which one? Both of them?
Strategy doc
is the one, is it?
Yeah.
Should I download the guidelines as well or not?
If you like, but you might want to save time.
Okay, well, I definitely will have a look at it anyway again. I'm going to upload the latest strategy document you've sent me.
Yeah.
So there you go. 1 second. I've got to upload it onto Blackboard, sorry, Moodboard. Where it's uploading now. Okay, there we go. Share now. All right.
Okay, so yeah, this is for my brand. It's called It's Yours.
It's yours.
Yeah, so the basis of it is making design and high quality design and branding accessible to everyone, hence the name. And also, like in the past, I've been asked, would the clients get to keep the final files and stuff? And the answer is always, it's yours. You know, it's not mine. It's your work now. Once I've created it, it's yours.
Great.
So it's just a kind of like reinforcement to let them know that a client will own everything once it's designed for them. So here's the SWOT analysis: strengths, love of branding and designing, passionate about helping new businesses achieve goals. Weaknesses, not experienced at pitching, and lack of connections. There's probably a lot more weaknesses, but keeping it brief. Opportunities, approaching small companies that bigger design companies wouldn't bother with necessarily, and going to design meetups to meet up with those kind of smaller companies, those startups. And so the threats are other more experienced design agencies taking work and looking inexperienced to new clients, potentially. Okay, next page. So brand positioning statement is to small businesses and startups in need of a visual language to express what you offer. It's Yours is the small but passionate branding agency that will deliver bespoke, high quality creative work that will give your business energetic clarity. That's because It's Yours brings empathy as well as design skill and knowledge to enable businesses to achieve their goals with well thought out brand landscape, that will impress and connect with your ideal clients. Next page. So proposition: provide affordable, professionally designed branding and marketing assets for new or existing companies. Benefits: affordable, professional, passionate, experienced. Reasons to believe: passionate about providing professional service, creating high quality work, enabling all businesses to look and perform at their best. Beliefs: provide the highest quality creative work to enable clients to achieve business goals via great design. Personality is creative, empathetic, passionate, and good energy. And the essence is to help clients achieve goals via brand clarity and beautiful design. So the next slide is just the mood board. There's the logo, colors, brand values, availability, quality, inclusivity, good energy, supportive, a shared vision. The main font is Montserrat, extra bold for titles and regular for body text. And then the fun font is called Mrs. Shepherd's, just for fun titles here and there. And then I actually struggled with images to like represent It's Yours, really. So I just picked some things that I like the look of, and I did some mock-ups of, say, a signage there and the brand guidelines booklet. And yeah, the kind of illustration in the middle there kind of expresses how I feel about helping a business climb up their ladder. So that's it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Nick. Excellent, fantastic, really, really, really good. Wow, very, very impressive. So it's great. I mean, it's amazing what people can do in a few days, isn't it? In addition to actually study full time almost. So yeah, very clear SWOT analysis, and I can really relate. I can really relate because my business is also quite small, and I've suffered from the same sort of fears of almost of not having enough connections, and also I can really relate to all the weaknesses and opportunities as well. This meetup and and the threats as well. It's absolutely 100% the kind of SWT of a lot of small design practices in a way. So it's nothing unique about yourself. I think the strength, weakness. So it's really a question of. So actually, it does come down to branding and communicating, isn't it? And having the confidence to do that, and the confidence to, once you've got like a great website, then once you've got a great Instagram account or whatever, once you got, you're happy with your identity, and also to build up the way you speak and the messages that you give out and everything. And I think then make the first steps to actually meet up people. I don't know, you're based in London or not?
No, I'm in Bristol.
Oh yeah, Bristol. Okay, sorry, I don't mean that in a bad way, but obviously there's more opportunities in London, like business meetups and stuff. There's more happening, but you have to travel then to kind of take part in those meetups, I think.
Yeah.
And also I think in terms of strategy, like if you're in LinkedIn, then you can sort of maybe show examples of work, but also as you do some work, you can also, there's a feed where you can kind of like post some work, and if you're happy with it, of course, and if you're proud of it, then you can share that, because I think a lot of people notice your. So I think LinkedIn is probably a good way to make connections and to increase your potential customer base.
Sure,
So also, the brand positioning statement is really good. I mean, it's very, very clear and everything, and I liked it. There's a lot of clarity and very, very clear. So it's really kind of very well written. That's great. And this brand onions, which is not in the shape of an onion, but it doesn't matter. Proposition, benefits, reasons to believe. It's really, really interesting, very good as well. Beliefs, personality, and essence to help clients achieve goals. brand clarity and beautiful design. That's really clear as well. But the best thing is the branding and the choice of Montserrat font for the titles and the script font. I love the idea of the exclamation mark. It's just very simple, but it's like, because the exclamation mark is a symbol for a great idea or a great, powerful kind of communication, basically. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's intended, isn't it? That's intended.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so I'd love to see, do you mind if I just share the guidelines document as well to have a look?
Yeah, sure.
1 second. I haven't uploaded it, so.
I originally sent the guidelines being lazy.
Yeah.
And I realized that that wasn't what the homework was.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, lazy is not good.
But it was something that I put together a while ago, but this helped me to tweak it and refine it a little bit better.
Yeah, I really like the kind of script font. I think it's a really success. It's a really good, nice kind of friendly font.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing
to be welcoming.
Yeah, the only thing which I was thinking but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm really picking things here. But normally, when it says it's yours, you should have IT''S, yours.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's a possessive article which says, it's like my car, her car. It's not. It is. It's good value. Anyway, but I don't know how you would actually have a little, one of those kind of. It would actually fit quite well, but one of those sort of thing. Here between the, but then you might be able to put a little one, but I don't know. On the other hand, I was thinking, well, it looks quite resolved the way it is, and maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. That's the thing.
We'll see.
So okay. Then it's
so yeah, a little brand statement. It's yours as a branding and marketing agency based in the vibrant city of Bristol, created with the sole intention to inject energetic visual clarity for both startups and established businesses via high quality branding and marketing strategies. And then bullet pointed things, logo and word mark. So the Y and the exclamation mark can be used as an icon to kind of bring attention, kind of like how Vodafone uses a similar thing in the background of like their brand guidelines, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then exclusion zones.
Cool.
And then color usage. Some alternatives.
Excellent.
And then explanation of how to use the icon in the background, what not to do.
Yeah, I love that kind of page. Don't do this with the logo.
Yeah. And color spec. So I go into a little bit more detail with the background logo fade and outline color there. Font usage, yeah. So you see the Y exclamation mark on the right there.
Yeah.
As an example.
Yes. Cool. I think it's a very good, you know, secondary typeface, or, you know, kind of main typeface rather.
And then these are just some mock-ups and like kind of brand imagery.
Hmm. Is that your setup, your studio?
No, no, that's just a stock image.
Okay.
All of these are stock images.
Uh-huh.
And that's it.
Amazing kind of image, actually, that one. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That was really interesting. And it's interesting how you've just kind of done your own guidelines for yourself. Really amazing. So, thank you, everybody. It's a shame that Ju is not here, but possibly, you know, with her work, then it was not possible. But what I'll do is I will, when I get back from holiday, because I don't have time to do it now, I will kind of send to everybody. Well, actually, I could probably do it if I put if I literally put all of them in an email to everybody, and if I just do that now, then everybody has everybody else's, you know, presentations, so to speak. So I'm just going to do that now. If I can find an email with everybody in it. Yeah, that's it, this one. And what I'll do is I think just if you just bear with me, I'm just going to upload the document that we've seen today. Well, I'm sending actually your projects in one email right now, so you can look at each other's project. There was a message from someone here. This really well done, Nick, and good to see. Oh yes, sorry, I completely forgot. Please give your feedback and your comment about Nick. Colleen says, really well done, Nick, and good to see it fleshed out with the mock-ups. I definitely follow you for inspiration. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Thanks on Nick's behalf, and it's really nice to hear. And I've just emailed to everybody all the, you know, all the presentation that we've that you've done. There's another 5 minutes there, and there isn't any. So I've got nothing planned, and there's not enough time to really sort of get into any topic. There's no point. But if you know, if you have any questions, maybe we can talk. I don't think there's any point starting a topic in the last 5 minutes, and the only thing I could do actually is just to kind of point you out in some document. There are some documents, actually this is it. I won't even present them. I will just sort of show you what these documents are, and they are on the Padlet, and they also are in. So there's a document here which I don't normally show, but it's about packaging, and it's about, and you can just read it through, and it's there, and it's about brand salience. This is the brand salience of Coke, the pyramid, brand resonance pyramid, then about architecture as well, a strategy. There's so it's about packaging, and there's loads of website to do with packaging, and there's examples and case studies also about packaging design, which you know, so there's some really nice cases, and you know, the different kind of brand language. You know, this could be nice for Tuscany, actually, I was thinking, but maybe not. So this kind of combination of illustration and lettering, and you know, using print finishes as the print finishes as part of a luxury kind of branding is very important, matte and gloss and embossed and all that kind of stuff. So there's examples of different. So it's really good to kind of read the text about these kind of case studies. And then a quick thing about branded spaces and some thought about, you know, branded spaces like Starbucks or Apple, and also hotels, for instance, and also exhibition space, and also ambient media. And yeah, so that's a short presentation which is there. And then the other thing as well, which is also something I've uploaded as well, is a case study. Now, this is a huge long document, which was a presentation I made to Nokia, and it's about place branding, and it's about creating a branded space. So I'm not going to get into it because there really is 100 pages or 66 pages, but I'm just going to flick through. First, he talks about brand stories and customer stories, actually, and who is the customer, the kind of typical customer. And you are here, so people make places, so it's something to read. Then he talks about brand experience, the color journey, so all the journey, all the kind of brand colors of Nokia, the blue, and the materials and all the secondary colors, but also, or accent colors, but also the material that they use, the white and the wood, and so how it translates into a space, and how to use color in the space. So it's a nice document which kind of speaks for itself. White and material, and using different material for the space. Then accent colors for navigation, for instance, and for making accent in the space. Cushions and things like that, lightings. Something about Nokia form, so you can define form for a brand, and how you can use form for the brand. Sound. We had this tunnel of sound where we created bespoke recordings when people came to the event. I've got to hurry up because I've got to stop at 4. And then there is this presentation about the tone of voice, and it's the first slide which I've shown. And basically, this presentation shows the customer journey in the different stages of the visitor journey, and what each stage is, and the tone of voice that the salespeople or the people selling the product should have, the kind of conversation you should have at different. And here on the left, there's a diagram of where you are in the journey. So this is a document which pointing out to you that you could look at as well, which you might find interesting. But okay, so this is now the end. That's the last page. But it's 4 o'clock, and thank you very much. You've been really, really nice student to be with during the week. Yeah, so yes, please exchange the social media kind of thing. You can connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to. I probably will reconnect with you. I'm trying to disconnect actually from everything in the next 2 weeks, but please, very happy to connect with you. I won't forget your name. So I think if you just research Mark Wood I don't know so LinkedIn might be the best thing for me to connect. Let me see if I can find it actually. I've got I've got on this laptop, I'm not connecting to LinkedIn, but if you can find me on LinkedIn. Let me just try to see, but if you research, if you go to LinkedIn and research Mark Wood, you'll see someone it says, okay, here we go. It'll say this, and this is me. I'll just do a screenshot because it's not, oh, there you go. Sorry, it's actually connected. 1 second. 1 second, please. So I never know how to do that. Okay. Well, it says this is what it's. I still can't connect, but this is a screenshot of if you see this, then you're in the right place. But I've got to shoot off now, and just a minute, actually, 1 second. How do I do that? 1 second. No. You can't attach anything in this chat, which is very annoying. Anyway, very sorry. What I'll do is I'll try to find some time on the beach to send you my LinkedIn. But if you do look up, actually, hold on a minute. I know what to do. So, 1 second. So this is not great, but it's, if you see this image, if you look for Mark Wood with a C, there's not that many. And then if you see this picture like this, then you're in the right place. I was not able to connect on this laptop, but it usually has my picture as well. So that's what creative director, specialist in strategy branding, associate lecturer, Central Saint Martin's, UAL. That's me. Okay, I've got to go. It's really lovely to have been with you all week, but I've got to literally catch a plane. And big goodbye to everybody, and good luck with everything. And you will receive certificate from the course, and so and also I think you will receive some kind of customer satisfaction survey. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. And good luck in your career. And let's keep in touch. We can also keep in touch by email. You've got my email, so feel free to email me any progress on your work or your career. Thank you very much. Lots of love, everybody. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's put a love emoji in the chat.
Thank you. Happy holidays, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'll stop the recording now.